Arrowhead last Wednesday on March 6th came out with a minor patch notice that had some major updates, some balance changes to weapons and stratagems and stuff like that. So conveniently on that very same day, we were also live streaming the game, and before we got through the install and update, I was reading the patch notes and checking it out with chat, just giving my thoughts and opinions on all the notices that we saw in the patch notes. So without further ado, let's go and get into it. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe for more, and be sure to drop any comments about any of the patch notes down below. And as always, I will see you guys later. So, major updates. Planetary hazards are active. Sick. So what does that mean? Many planets have additional environmental changes that will appear at random while you're deployed, from fire tornadoes to meteor showers and many more. That sounds like fun. This is awesome. This is sick. And this adds to the immersion, definitely. So how crazy would it be that a fire tornado, and I'm assuming friendly fire works both ways. So if we were to deploy something that does damage, it could kill us. The planet could deploy, a way of saying it, meteor showers, earthquakes, whatever, tornadoes, what have you, and it's going to attack both the aliens and us. So how dope would it be that a fire tornado just comes out of nowhere, you kind of lead a mob of mobs right behind you, and they just get swept up into it. Fucking cool. Imagine. Same with the meteor showers. So you got basically a planetary airstrike going down, and it's randomly attacking both you and the aliens. So I think this is sick, and this is going to be even more cinematic than before. And it makes sense, you know, with the theme of the game. So. Also, they balance the Eradicate missions. So this has been the meta for grinding levels, is going into like a Helldiver or an impossible level Eradicate mission, which is where we deploy, kill 180 bots, something like that. You could do that in like 5 to 10 minutes and get out, and you get, you know, well, you get a little bit over 1,000 XP, and you get like 4,000, 5,000 requisition. So it was a huge I don't want to say exploit, but that's just what the mission was. It was the most cost-effective grind situation for a very short amount of time. And I did it because it was in the game. It wasn't exploitative because there was nothing about it that you had to do funny business with. You just go into a mission on a hard difficulty, you beat it, and then you get out. Bet. Okay. But I also recognize that it was very silly to rinse and repeat the same mission over and over again just for the experience. And it also made it so people were playing the game, but they were never contributing to the planet's overall mission. If it was a if it was like a defend mission or whatever, like the global setting for that specific planet, why are we here fighting these things, it never contributed towards it, because you have to finish all the missions in a zone in order to contribute to the war effort. So if you just rinse and repeat one mission and then jump to another one, all that progress would have been lost. So this could also help people now actually play for the objective of the Galactic War. So I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this. And grinding the levels really doesn't get you much after you hit, like, what, 20, I think? I think once you hit level 20, you have access to pretty much everything in the game, so if not 20, maybe a little bit after that. So yeah, up to that point, and then hitting 50, there's nothing going on. Oh, the update is done. But before we jump into the game, I want to take a look at more of this. So primary, secondary, and support weapons. Breaker, decrease magazine capacity from 16 to 13, increase recoil from 30 to 55. So bit of a nerf for the breaker, but here's an issue that I kind of have with what they did with these balance changes, and also what everyone's opinion of these balance changes kind of reflects. So yes, they do need to go into the game on certain weapons or items or stratagems or anything, and they need to fine-tune it a bit where it's not working as intended, or it's overstepping its bounds in a very egregious way. I think, for instance, the railgun was exactly that. The railgun was almost a gun that could be used for virtually every situation. And it's like, but we also have to know, you know, what is a railgun? And should it be exactly that? I don't know. Hard to say. Railgun, first and foremost, is a stratagem. It is not a weapon per se. And I think, and speaking to the devs, you guys need to really, when it comes to any adjustments for this game, you need to decide, if you guys don't already, but you need to decide whether or not it's just a actual game update that you need to do, or if it needs to be involved in narrative. And what I mean by that is, say for instance, we've been rocking the railgun for like all of our missions. Just, it is the most used weapon all over the place for both the bots and the bugs. Okay. Can the bugs or the bots have some sort of, I don't want to say AI, because that just goes into, I guess, it's coding a little bit too much, but can they have some sort of, you know, intelligence? Because they got to be, you know, a little bit intelligent. Can they have some sort of intelligence where they notice that the Helldivers are using a specific meta or weapon where they're going to start beefing up or changing how they look, how they're built, or whatever, to combat what the Helldivers are using a lot of? So when it comes to the railgun, maybe a lot of the bugs and the bots need to start beefing up to make the railgun less viable. And at the same time, it could also open up other weak spots that make other weapons more viable, so that there's a bouncing back and forth between the players, the Helldivers, and the aliens, and less of a perspective of the players are using this, we as devs need to adjust it like this because they're overusing something or they're underusing something else. So I think balance changes going forward need to be more narrative focused, and it needs to adjust how the aliens interact with us instead of the other way around. I think that would be not only cool, but it would make a lot more sense. But again, I understand that some weapons out there could be a little bit too busted and they do need to get pulled back a little bit, but making more narrative focused is probably the better way to look at it out of anything. So that's just my 2 cents. Something happened. Helldivers got a balance update today, and some people are kind of iffy about it because it's a lot of the good weapons that people have been using, they got nerfed. And I want to look at it as more of a narrative perspective. It's like, so we've got all these Helldivers using this one particular weapon. Why don't the bots just now build themselves where they're affected by that weapon a lot less than before? Like they've realized this particular gun, oh, this gun is good, we need to beef up our bots so that we can combat their main weapon. It also opens up the door for other weaknesses, but it nonetheless it's a game of like cat and mouse. We have to adjust our strategies because they just adjusted their strategies. And I think that would be sick. I think that would be dope. I want the game, and so this also leads into the eventual update with the mechs, because we've seen mechs are eventually going to come into the game. I think it would be dope, narratively speaking, that none of this happened, but for narrative perspectives, the breaker, railgun, and all the other guns that have been used for meta now are less viable, so that we almost get to the point where no gun is really viable. It's just hard, no matter which way you cut it. Then that opens up the narrative for the devs to bring in a new weapon, or a new tactic, or a new something from R&D and the Helldivers Super Earth Factory, whatever the hell narrative perspective you want. And then they deploy it for the Helldivers, and then we use this new weapon, whatever it may be, to start pushing them all back. And then they're just like, oh god, it's too strong, and then they have to adapt and change, and it's just this back and forth, this cat and mouse. I think that would be dope, and it would make sense, and it doesn't, and it keeps the immersion, and it doesn't make it, you know, very much like nerfs and buffs and crap like that. It's like, no, the aliens are adapting to our playstyles. I think it needs to be more real and organic like that. A lot of balance changes for a lot of the weapons here. I guess some were needed for sure, so that other things become more viable. Like the flamethrower increased damage per second by 50. That's beautiful. I'm down with that. Laser cannon increased damage against durable enemy parts, increased armor penetration, improved ergonomics. Sure, I'm down for that. Punisher increased total ammo capacity from 40 to 60, increased stagger force, increased damage by 40 bullets per 45. Hold on, I totally like fast read that. Increased total ammo capacity from 40 to 60, increased stagger force, increased damage from 40 per bullet to 45 per bullet. So that's actually good to know. They do have numbers for their damage. That's useful. Breaker, spray and pray, increased armor penetration, increased fire rate from 300 to 330, increased number of pellets from 12 to 16 per shot, decreased magazine size from 32 to 26. So, energy shield pack, increased delay before recharging. Sure, energy shield is meta pick, so. 388mm to 120mm orbital barrages, increased duration of the bombardment, decreased spread. Ooh, that actually could be pretty good. And then a lot of fixes. Fixed armor value ratings, not reducing damage as intended, which is good, because I've seen that was a huge issue. Fixed certain bug holes, include stocking nests that were unnecessarily hard to destroy. I'm fine with that. Fixed anti-aliasing toggle, now working on PS5. Balance lighting cross on plans to solve cases where the game was too dark. That's interesting. Improved flashlight efficacy, increased visibility during sand, rain, weather on Errata Prime. Ooh. Updated tutorial materials and lighting. Nice. Improved cases where some materials could look blurry if lighting graphic setting was set to low. Fixed timing issues that could occur on Extract E17 primary objective. Changed button interaction behavior for buttons and bunker POIs. Helldivers will not let go of the button after holding it for a few seconds. Will now let go of the button after holding it for a few seconds. Oh, so we don't have to click again to let go. Got it. That's nice. Fix some cases of large assets floating on the ground beneath that was blown up. Helldivers standing next to ICBMs during launch will get properly toasted with a chance of not so spontaneous combustion. That is beautiful. Fix unthrowable snowballs after ragdolling. I don't know what that means. Fix being able to use grenades after drowning. Can we no longer lock down players' own corpse in blocking spectator mode? Helldivers now take damage from fire, gas, etc. generated by other players. Armor no longer stretches when dismembered. Okay. I mean, some of those bugs are funny, but okay. And then I like this. They list all the things that they're looking into, known issues that they're working on. So that's pretty nice. But anyway, that is the balance changes for the game, which are aplenty. And again, I think one huge thing that they can do is make those balance changes more narratively driven, and less devs trying to, you know, tone down certain things about the game. But anyway,